until showtime. All right, Catawba fans, we're at the 2-minute warning. The new rule in college football, they have a 2-minute warning in each half. So tonight we have a 2-minute warning here before showtime. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of the Catawba Football Coaches Show. Again, we're live from City Tavern on East Fisher Street in historic downtown Salisbury. I'm your host, Ken Anderson, joined again by Coach Tyler Haynes. We'll have some other special guests as the evening goes on. First, before we get underway, just want to thank all the members of the Chiefs Club that are here. Can't do a lot of things at Catawba Athletics without the support of the Chiefs Club and the membership. And, of course, in attendance tonight, President Shari Graham and Vice President JDs. Just want to thank you guys. And also, before we get started, our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to all those impacted in Western North Carolina, right in the footprint of the South Atlantic Conference, those impacted by the devastating floods and everything that happened in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. So our thoughts and prayers go out to them. And I know, Coach, you have a lot of shout-outs you want to get underway, too, so go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. A couple thank yous right from the get-go. Thank you to President Nelson and his family for their constant support. Thank you to the Graham family for sponsoring this show. Thank you to Michelle Cadigan and our entire athletic department, the Dees family, Maddox, and everyone in the development office. Most importantly, want to thank our friends and family and support here, the women's soccer team for being in attendance, everyone tuning in on YouTube and on our live stream. Our team is looking forward to our now home game, 2 p.m. Sunday in Shuford Stadium. Looking forward to getting back after it.
Yeah, can't wait to get back out there this weekend, especially after the loss this week. Coach, I was talking to somebody earlier. If we had a soundtrack to the season so far, it would be sung by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. That was 2 heartbreaking defeats in a row. This one especially tough at home to Carson Newman. But it's not going to deter your team. You're going to be very resilient. Everybody's working hard and get things turned around this week.
Yeah, really proud of our team for the effort they put in. You know, it's a top 25 team, an undefeated team, and that doesn't mean anything other than we respect their game. And it was anyone that was there in attendance or has seen it online, I mean, that was a heavyweight match back and forth, obviously going down to the last couple drives. And when I look at it, I see a team that kicked 2 field goals and made it, and they scored a touchdown to beat us by a point. So proud of our guys. We have room to grow, and that was a good game.
As you mentioned, high-level game throughout, but one thing that was a factor, injuries along the way. Kobe Christian and Preston Brown each got hurt in the third quarter. They didn't come back in the fourth quarter, so that definitely had to affect the game plan a little bit with those key injuries.
Yeah, we've been hit by the injury bug a little bit, and other teams have too. It happens. Football is a fast, physical game and is only going to get faster and more physical as we go through it. So we did have some injuries that were not able to finish the game, and hopefully we get those guys back soon going into this week.
Now let's talk about the defense in that game. Carson Newman, while they scored a lot of touchdowns, but your team came back and answered every time that they went ahead. You came back and answered. Finally got a lead in that fourth quarter. Your run defense up the middle, the key on that, you took away the dive play. When they're successful on the dive play, all kind of things can happen, but you really took that away. That was really solid up the middle, but then contained, there was a few issues. Did they do something different, or what caused them to enjoy a little bit more success outside?
Yeah. They're a good team. I mean, that is the Navy offense. That is a good offensive coordinator who is their head coach, and they did try to run it on us, and up the middle, we stuffed that, did a good job with it, as you said. They really actually passed it on us more than I thought. And we talked about it the week before when they played Wingate, that they had some sneaky passes, and they hit a couple sneaky passes on us. And then late in the game, as you said, we got a little bit banged up, we got a little bit tired, and they were able to get on our perimeters a little bit. Our defense did a good job yardage-wise. We needed to create some of those stops to make field goals as they did to us as opposed to touchdowns.
Coach, we've talked about it so far this season. Replay challenge in effect this year. Again, 2 key calls in the game. They don't go in our favor again. I'm starting to not like this replay challenge a little bit. But they had one early in the game. They were spotted short on a run on a 4th down play. They came back and reviewed it, said they made the yard to gain. So that didn't go your way. And then on the game-winning drive, they had a pass on the sideline right in front of their coach, kind of like you up at UVA-Wise, right in front of you. He kind of put his hat right down on the sideline and said he was right here in bounds. They both went Carson Newman's way. So are you hating this replay thing as much as me?
No, I like it. It has nothing to do with that. I do disagree with their call. They moved the ball 3 inches. So from the view that they saw for the first one, to move the ball 3 inches up to give them a first down, I have a little bit of problem with because I can't see it on film. The second one was a catch. So, again, a tribute to their coach and their player. I mean, the refs got it wrong and they made it right. The first one is questionable, and the league felt the same way.
And we mentioned earlier here tonight, you have a 2-minute warning this year in college football. Do you like that? Is that a good thing? Does that change some strategy as far as timeout use and managing the clock at the end of the game?
Yeah, and I think we'll talk about it. The 2-minute warning creates an additional timeout for the offense. So I do like it. It lines up with the NFL. It allows guys at the end of the first half and second half to come up with a good plan going into the last part of the half in the game. So it allows teams to come together. So I like it.
And Coach, I have to ask this because I heard it after the game quite a few times. You know, you have the Sunday and Monday morning quarterbacks. Your team had the lead 31-28. You're driving down the field. You ran the ball successfully 6 straight times with L.J. Turner with 3 runs, Queese Williams with 2 runs, picked up 2 first downs. Then Hunter Shepard runs the ball off the right side, picks up a first down. We're under 4 minutes to go in the game, and you pass the ball 3 times, and they're all incomplete. You settle for the field goal, and they come back with a game-winning drive. But what was your thought process at that time in deciding to pass the ball and not run it? I think I know why, but I think the fans would like to hear it from you. Why?
Yeah. Well, we scored a touchdown on nobody saying anything. I'll say that. So here's how it works. It was about 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. We're down there. The first play was a run play called. So, again, anyone that knows anything about football watching us play, we have run plays with the receivers are running routes. The defense changed, right? The defense we marched down the field on them. So they adjusted to blitz 0. They're bringing the house, if you want to call it that. And we could have run the ball 3 times in a row and settled for a field goal. If we were hand the ball off 3 times in a row, they had 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. That's 4 timeouts. So they would get the ball back after a field goal with approximately 3:10, which is the exact same scenario we're in. But we put the ball on 2nd down and 3rd down, our quarterback's hands, hit off receiver's hands. I would do it all again, other than I would love the result to be different. I don't second guess it at all. Now, we hand the ball off against blitz 0 and guy breaks 4 tackles and scores a touchdown. I don't think that's the right call. That could have happened, so we can always second guess that. But based on what they did and the time management, I don't. If you really think about it, I think we were correct, especially if we score a touchdown there.
As you said, I understand the decision because you're trying to win football games. And if you get a touchdown, a 10-point lead pretty much guarantees you're going to win the game. And that's the way you coach. And I heard Bill Cowher say it one time, he may not know if it's the right decision, but it's his decision. Yeah. And I think you'll stand by that all day long.
Yeah, either way, whether we run it 3 times or pass it 3 times incomplete, because of their timeouts, they're going to have they didn't use a single timeout on their 2-minute drive.
Right.
So the time situation is exactly what it was going to be regardless. It's either are we going to score a touchdown or are we going to kick a field goal? And we kicked a field goal. The offense had a chance to knock them out, go up by 2 scores and win the game, and the offense did not do it.
Okay, Coach, so we'll get you back up here to talk about this week's game in a little bit. We'll get a couple of your players coming up here next, and a couple of those key defensive guys are going to come up here and talk about how things went this past week. But before we do, again, we have trivia this week, and this will be the first of 2 trivia questions that I will ask. And the first trivia question, since we have some defensive guys coming up here, and this guy right here, big number 98, Kiev Bennerman, a new player in here at Catawba this year. This past week, he had 4 tackles against Carson Newman. 2 of those were sacks. So our question tonight relates to sacks. And who is the career sack leader for the Catawba College football? Who has the most sacks in their career in Catawba College football? Write your answer on your whiteboard. Get it to Zach and let him see your answer. He'll give you some good prizes. So right here I have Kiev Bennerman. Kiev is a transfer. He's a redshirt sophomore. His hometown is Poughkeepsie, New York. He played 1 year of college football at Boston College. You were actually there 2 years. Redshirted your first year. Yes, played a little bit in your second year. So let's talk about coming out of high school. What led you to enroll at Boston College?
They had during that time, as I was graduating, they had a great coaching staff, and the whole recruiting process was very great. And when I had visited the campus, it just felt like it was at home. But, you know, as life goes on, come to find out things don't go as planned, and you end up moving on in life. And then that led me to later move to Marist College for a little bit. And then as I was training one-on-one with the strength coach here, I was actually approached by Coach Haynes, and they asked if I had more eligibility left. And I said, I believe so. So then they looked into it. They took care of business on the back end, and I was welcomed by the Catawba family.
So let's talk about the start of your career at Boston College. The very first game you played was against Virginia Tech. You had 5 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss. You probably had to think at that point, hey, this college football stuff's easy.
I wouldn't say it was easy, but it definitely was just an amazing experience to have. You know, not everybody gets to experience or play after high school. So for me to even get the opportunity to continue to play football, period, it was just a blessing. But being out there, you know, switching to a different level, it was just a great feeling overall. Like, I just felt like a normal football game. Once you get out there, it's just you and another guy in front of you.
And then you ended up at Marist University. That's in your hometown of Poughkeepsie, New York. But they had some rules in place that didn't permit you to play. So how was it going through that period of time?
It was definitely tough during the time. You know, all I want to do is just be able to get my degree and play football. So with that being said, me having to sit out and possibly not being able to play in the future, it was kind of iffy. So I just took the time to make sure I had my body right and everything. And once it was time for me to come back, just being able to take just be able to compete to my best ability.
And you mentioned being in contact with Coach Haynes. Was it a tough sell to get you to come here to Salisbury, North Carolina, or just pretty much you were eager to play football and, yeah, sign me up?
No, honestly, just with the one-on-one conversations with him and my defensive line coach, Coach Hubbard, we just built the connection. And with connections, you know, comes trust. And when you get to college level, you definitely want to make sure you find a place where you feel wanted and that you're comfortable with. And they made me feel like I was at home. Everybody here, just the whole college in general, they just made me feel accepted. So it was like a no-brainer for me. Like, I love it here. And
all right, that's great. So you mentioned how important it is to get your education. What are you majoring in at Catawba?
I'm majoring in psychology. Hopefully, later on in the future, I want to become a sports psychologist to be able to help college athletes with mental health issues.
Okay, that's a very noble goal right there. We know college football is tough and a lot of issues, so that's a big thing right now, and so very, very noble you to want to try to do that. So keep up the good work. If you're rooting for him out there, he wears number 98, as you see, all 6'4", 310 pounds of him. I know I don't want to run into you. So I know those guys, you did a great job stuffing the run this week against Carson Newman, so keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
Now let's get
Appreciate
one of your defensive mates in here. I'm going to bring up Khalil Stimson. Khalil Stimson out of Greensboro, North Carolina. He's also a sophomore here at Catawba. And so far this season, Khalil has made 27 tackles, season high 8 against Davidson. He had 7 in each of the last 2 games against UVA Wise and Carson Newman. Khalil, those 27 tackles are almost as many as you had all last year, 38 tackles on the season last year. What's been the difference or a key for you to be more successful and get on more action this year?
Well, to start off, I'm starting at the beginning of the season this year, which is better than last year, where I was playing my role on special teams and just playing my role as a player as a freshman. And this game, I'm getting more playing time, I'm more developed into the game. Coach O has done a good job, like a very great job developing me as a player. I can definitely say that I've changed tremendously as a player since last year. My IQ has grew. And I'm just seeing the game is slowed down a little bit as I got experience from last year. So that's the reason why I'm doing way better than last year starting off.
And did the fact that you were on campus throughout the spring and the summer, spring practice and the extra workouts, is that what's enabled the game to slow down for you? You're able to envision things better on the field?
Yeah, just seeing the game and seeing it in front of me more and more, just getting more reps in practice, going over film a lot with Coach O, and Coach O helping me understand just the basics of the game, honestly. It's just helping to slow down and just think about the obvious that the offense like to do.
Now, in high school, you played at Grimsley High School in Greensboro. Your team won a state championship in 2020. You were the state runner-up in 2022. Did playing at such a high level, 4A football, prepare you better to come here and compete at Catawba College right away?
Yes, definitely. Playing at the highest level in the high school level definitely, I feel, gave me an upper edge on guys here who pretty much, not in their control, but probably play like 1A or 2A. I feel like I definitely had a pretty good coaching staff who knew what they were doing, and I was definitely prepared to come to college, and it was more advanced than a lot of guys come here.
And I think we talked last year when you were on the show. You had an older brother, Malik,
Yes,
who
sir.
played football at Fayetteville State. So what did you learn from him, and how did he help prepare you for both your high school and college careers?
He helped me learn a lot just during the game of football on how just the passion he had for it. It drew down to me, and seeing him going to college and all of our family just, loving him for doing that and just attacking his goals every day. It helps me just look up to him as a role model and as a big brother to go and beat him out of what he did, So that's a big reason why I'm here, and I'm trying to, like I said, beat him out of his goals and what he did.
Okay, and then what are you majoring in at Catawba, and what do you hope to do in the future?
I'm majoring in sports management right now with a minor in nutrition and athletic coaching. I like to get in coaching definitely as I get older and graduate. I definitely I want to help like our high school and college athletes on nutrition and help them understand like just taking care of your body is a big part of like playing sports. Like you have to take care of your body, you got to eat right, and I didn't have that, so that's why I would like to help high school and college athletes doing that.
Well, just the short times that I've spent talking with you, I think you would do great in that career. So best of luck to you on the football field and in the classroom and in future endeavors. So glad to have you on board, and hopefully you have a big game this week against Anderson.
Thank you.
So by the way, since we just had 2 defensive players, the answer to the trivia question, the career leader in sacks at Catawba College, he played between 2014 and 2017, and that answer is Kyle Kitchens. If you remember him, he was a fierce linebacker out there, a sack machine for the Catawba Indians. So now let's turn our attention to another brand of football, the kind where they don't let you use your hands. They play with a round ball, and they don't let you use your hands. And let's welcome Nick Brown, the women's soccer coach for the 17th ranked Catawba women's soccer team. Coach Brown is in its 10th season, and I believe the 5 wins you have this year add up to 106 wins in your Catawba career.
That's a Wow.
And the all-time record is 113, so you're closing in on that one pretty quickly. Just want to mention last year your team was ranked number 1 in the country. First time for a Catawba team to be ranked number 1. Appeared in 5 of the last 6 NCAA tournaments. So it's been quite a ride here so far at Catawba. And what's it mean to you at Catawba to come back to your alma mater as a head coach and be successful?
It means the world to me, to be honest with you. You know, this is home for me. You know, I feel like I've spent more than about half my adult life here, half my life. So it means the world to me to do it where I went to school and just to be able to give back to the people that gave me so much. So it's truly amazing.
And speaking of giving back, last night your team won 4-0 over Coker, and that was a special game. It was breast cancer awareness game, and that's something that you've implemented or instituted here at Catawba. And why is that so meaningful to you?
It's meaningful to me because my wife went through a battle with breast cancer about 4 years ago. So just something I wanted to do, and you know, just a way to honor her every year and just keep her in our thoughts and prayers. So it's just something that's become extremely, extremely important to me. And you know, we want to continue to grow that event, and it's just a special night. And last night was just perfect to me. You know, everything that happened on the field with the players and off the field, everything was just perfect last night.
So everything was so perfect, and those pink uniforms look pretty nice.
They
And
look pretty
Superstition,
good,
do you want to
thanks.
keep wearing those uniforms?
We might. We got a couple of options.
Okay, so we talked about the success you've had over the last couple of years, appearing in NCAA tournaments, being ranked number 1. What is it about this group that has made them so successful?
They just show up every day. They show up every day. They just get after it, and I think they're having a good time doing it. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, it's taken us a bit to really find ourselves and what our identity is going to be, and now it seems like over the last couple of weeks they've found that. So it's just fun. It's just fun to be a part of, fun to show up every day and just be a part of it, just to be around them. So it's a lot of fun.
And I know talking with them, they say they have a lot of fun playing for you as a coach, but what is it for you that makes it so fun to coach these girls?
I think just how much they love each other, how much they love the program, the school, and just how much they love the game. You know what I mean? I think that just makes it fun. For me, it's not a job. I don't show up here to work. You know, I just show up here to enjoy them and just to try to give them everything that I can and, you know, try to make them the best we can.
By the way, before I ask you a couple more questions, we have an extra trivia question tonight, and I want to ask it right now so you have time to answer it. And we're going out of season sport-wise. I want to know, in Catawba baseball history, it's happened 3 times in a game, and I want to know who the first person to do it was, and that is 5 stolen bases in one game. I want to know who is the first person in Catawba baseball history to steal 5 bases in one game, and we'll have the answer in just a few minutes. So, Coach Brown, let's get back to your season. 5 wins so far, a tough South Atlantic Conference schedule, but 5 wins, 3 draws. How's the season gone for you so far? Is it up to expectations, exceeded, or where do you sit right now this season?
I think we're doing fine. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously we're going to look at those draws and feel like we could have won those games, you know what I mean? But that's the game that we play. You know, the better team doesn't always win on the day. So, you know, the fact that we got draws out of them and not losses, I think is good. I think we learned a lot out of all those games. So, you know, we haven't lost the game yet, so that's good. You know, and we'll just go one game at a time and see if we can get the next one.
And then you start a 3-game road swing on Saturday. You play at Anderson on Saturday. Back home on October the 16th, a big matchup against Wingate. So if you're looking for a game to circle on your calendar and get out and support the women's soccer team, that might be the one. That's always a tough match with Wingate.
It's a tough match, yeah. I mean, it's obviously a rivalry game, and we've played a lot of close matches over the years. So, yeah, come on out if you can be there. Should be fun.
And then, depending on how the season goes, it could come down to a season-ending showdown. You're tied with Lenoir-Rhyne in the conference standings right now. If you close the season at Lenoir-Rhyne, I think if somebody said to you right now, that game's going to be for the conference championship, would you take that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we owe them 1 or 2, so we'll see them on the last game of the season.
Okay, Coach, so best of luck to you. We're going to get one of your key players up here right now.
All right. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
So let's bring up one of the key players on that women's soccer team. And you can hear the support for her. She's a homegrown product from right here in Salisbury, North Carolina. Played her soccer at Salisbury High School, where she also played tennis and was involved in swimming as well in her career. Welcome senior Lily Ruscher to the show tonight. And Lily, by the way, I just want to ask you, do you happen to know the answer to this trivia question of who was the first person to steal 5 bases in one game in Catawba baseball history?
I do know this answer because I fear he didn't pass on the speedy genetic to me, but it was my grandpa, Bobby Ruscher, right here.
Grandpa
Yeah.
Bobby Ruscher, he's sitting right out here in the crowd tonight. It's pretty neat to have the person that's the answer to your trivia question sitting right there in front of you. So great job. First to steal 5 bases in one game in Catawba history. So Lily, let's go back to your high school career. In your high school career, 25 goals, 85 assists, which is still the school record at Salisbury High School. What was the key to all that success in high school?
You know, I just grew up playing with a lot of really good teammates and girls in recreational soccer, and then we all got to play together in high school together too. And that was just a really special time for all of us, I think, to be able to play together again. And I had just a great support system there. One of my teammates, Piper, she would literally get her head on any of the balls and just really put all of her effort into scoring those goals. So I think she got a ton of goals off of corner kicks, free kicks. So a lot of credit to her for that.
And everything I read and hear about Coach Matt Parrish, he's one of the best high school soccer coaches in the state of North Carolina. What was it like to play for him, and how did that prepare you to continue your career at Catawba?
Yeah, Coach Parrish is really competitive. He's also a great teacher in the classroom. I've learned a lot of stuff from him in many different aspects on and off the field. But he was a really special coach to play for. He taught me a lot about just hard work and leadership and just putting the grind in every day to get the results you want. And my sister got to play for him too, so that was really special to get to play for him. It was kind of just like everyone growing up in Salisbury got to play for Coach Parrish, and it was really cool.
And then here at Catawba, 7 goals and 12 assists in your career. What's it like to play for Coach Brown?
Coach Brown's also really competitive. I think anyone that knows him knows that every Monday is competition Monday, so we're always out there competing. He loves to tell us to compete against each other. But he's just a really good coach on and off the field. He's helped me with a lot of just personal stuff, so I'm really grateful for that too. He's a really great mentor, and he's always there for all of his players and just pushes us to be the best people we can be.
And I know that you are the main corner kick taker for this team. What does that entail on a corner kick? What makes it successful, and what are you trying to do when you put that ball into play?
Yeah, so a few different things, but mostly just putting it kind of into a good area where hopefully it'll cause a little bit of chaos and we can get on the second or third ball to kind of poke the ball in, or just sort of putting it in a good area for someone to run onto the ball, have the ball, kick the ball in the goal hopefully, but yeah, just trying to cause a little bit of chaos in the box.
Okay, and Lily, you're a senior. What are you majoring in at Catawba?
I'm majoring in English literature, so pretty different from everyone else on the team for sure. I don't have any teammates in my classes, which is kind of sad, but yeah, it's good.
And do you have some plans for the future? What do you hope to do?
The goal right now is to go into high school teaching. Not quite sure what the plan is exactly after college, but teaching is probably the goal for now. Yeah.
All right, sounds great. Best of luck to you on the field
Thank
and
you.
in the classroom. So
Thank you.
keep up the good work and have a successful season. Lily Ruscher. And now let's bring Coach Haynes back up as we get ready for Sunday afternoon's game. And yes, I said that right. Sunday afternoon football this week at Catawba. Game moved from Saturday against Anderson. Kickoff at 2 p.m. And Coach, with the game being moved to Saturday, is that a plus or a minus for it? It's definitely a plus that you get to play at home, but the day of the week, is that a plus or a minus?
Yeah, I think it's all a plus. Like you said, getting us back home and from our friends and family is always what we look forward to. These seniors get another chance to play in Shuford Stadium, and the day doesn't matter to us. The location really doesn't matter to us. Of course, we want to play home. We're just looking forward to getting out there, putting wins together, getting back on the winning track. Again, I think our guys are playing hard. We're just looking to go out there and execute at a high level.
Now, Anderson just now beginning their football program, first year in South Atlantic Conference play. What do you know about them to this point?
Yeah, they, Coach Bobby Lamb was the head coach at multiple FCS programs, Mercer and Furman, and is highly regarded in the coaching world. They're a good team. I mean, they are younger. He did do a good job in the portal, so you're not going to see all freshmen and sophomores. You're going to see juniors and seniors as well that he did go in the transfer portal and get. They started off with the 2 big wins and then have lost the last 2, so they're a very capable team. Again, I don't focus so much on them. We need to focus on us and go out there and execute.
Coach, while we talk about maybe finding out what the other team does, I was talking to Coach Perrin, who serves as my analyst during the games. In basketball, they get a package together from, I don't remember what company he told me the package comes from, but he can get every out-of-bounds play, every situational thing, every jump shot by a certain player. Do you have that in football? Do you get a package that you can sort? It's sorted for you already by these were the first down plays, first down passes, first down runs, third down situations by down and distance. Do you get all that, and how do you get that, and what do you do with it?
We get it, and we get it because our staff does it. So, no, we don't have a company that does it. We obviously we have all the film. Some people might remember going back to the videotapes and went to DVDs. It has made this transition. Now it's all online. You get the film, and you cut it up, offense, defense, special teams, down and distance. You plug in all the information, and we, as a staff, we work 18-hour days, 7 days a week, and that's the beginning of the week is gathering the information to present it to our guys to give them the best opportunity possible to get to know their opponent.
So offensively and defensively, how often do you rely on that during a game? Do you look at a situation and look at a chart and say, well, let's maybe this should be successful. That should be. How do you implement that during a game?
Yeah, we look at it, and I look at it. I'm a big believer. Art of war, for anyone that reads into military tactics. Football is not military, it's not war, but it's the closest thing to it. You have strategic movements and that kind of stuff. So 2 things. Number 1, you got to know your opponent, but you also got to know yourself. So what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and you bring those 2 thoughts together, thus the game plan.
And I hear a lot of coaches talk about disguising coverages on defense, disguising what you're going to do defensively, so that they can't tell if you're going to blitz, what type of coverage you're in. How does that happen on the field?
Yeah, it is that exactly that. Coach Overman and the defense talk about all the time. You've got to line up and be able to do your job, but can you also disguise what you're going to do and still do your job? And that's a fine line, because you disguise too much, they do a quick count, and all of a sudden you're in the wrong spot. So it's a fine line of getting in and watching film. You're not just watching the play. You're watching what's the quarterback's cadence, what's the O-line stance. It's very intricate. But, yeah, we try to disguise as much as possible, because those quarterbacks back there, they're looking at you while you're looking at them, and it's cat and mouse game.
And you mentioned it's not war, but I had a former coach tell me one time, he said it's similar to war, and I think he might have read the same book, but he said if they know where you're at, they blow you up.
Yeah.
Kind of same in war.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to disguise those coverages. So going into this game, what is one of the main focuses, or what do you think you need to do to be successful this week?
Yeah, I look forward to our defense getting after our defensive line and Kiev and Khalil and these guys that spoke today. I look forward to our defense going out there and creating havoc against a little bit of a younger team, and again, very capable. Number 7, a really good quarterback for them. But I look forward to us getting after their quarterback and playing the offensive on the defensive side of the ball. Defensively, I want us to rely on our running game that has been successful. And even though we're banged up on that side of the ball a little bit, I still look forward to us being efficient and putting touchdowns on the board.
All right, time to get out of here. Time goes quickly. So, Coach, let's get us out of here with the traditional ending.
Hey, thank you very much for being here. Thank you, women's soccer. Good luck the rest of the way. Cat U on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, everyone. Another edition of the Catawba Football Coaches Show in the book. Cheerleaders are going to take us out with a little special action to get everybody hyped up for the game this week.